Don in London, hello. Just setting my clock so I don't overrun, and I know I've got enough time. My videos, it's April the 7th, 2009, get the order right. April the 7th, 2009, Don in London. My videos all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol, my behaviour, trying to be perfect and never so. So good alcoholic, good workaholic, good relationshipaholic, and always towards the extremes. And it broke me in the end. All those combinations of things broke me over the years and made me isolated, excluded, and not a part of anything. Only what was going on in my head. And in my head it was quite insane. I was in a bind and I couldn't get out of it. If I couldn't get out of drinking, how on earth would I make my life work again? So there are various ways to get back to sanity and sobriety and finding where we are emotionally, spiritually and physically. And AA is not the only way. However, I talk about AA because it's helped me. I never speak for AA, it is just a bunch of people in a fellowship. It has no leaders, but it has a few trusted servants who help with the organisation and the literature which is available for people to use. So I don't represent AA, I represent me and my recovery. However, if I didn't share the tools of how I got to recovery, it would be a bit of a short video, and I wouldn't be able to say very much more. So what helps me? I know now that if I ask myself in the morning, how am I feeling? Why? What can I do? So how am I feeling today? Okay, not enough sleep. Why? Disturbed by the feelings of another person around the AA program and the fellowship, and their I guess disillusionment would be a good word, because when we get to AA we expect we may be fixed and either to drink or be able to do the things we used to do, and the simple answer is once an addict, always an addict. And trying to go back to controlled drinking or some semblance of being able to drink and it will be alright is really a pipe dream. So for me, I had to get over that, get over the denial of where I was, denial of a disease and an illness, a mental illness, and get to some place of calm and serenity so I could make life work again. At every meeting of AA I go to, and as somebody said, I need to get a life outside AA because it seems like I spend my whole time there. Well, I don't. But you know, it's a good criticism, and we all need criticism and a kick up the bum from time to time. Anyway, what happens at AA meetings is this, and this preamble is shared at the beginning of every meeting I go to anyway, and it goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. Very straightforward statement. A fellowship. Share experience, strength and hope that we can recover from alcoholism or stay in recovery a day at a time. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, and it certainly doesn't ally itself with my videos because it's me and my recovery, and I would never presume to speak on behalf of AA. I've been invited to, but I won't, because I can't. It neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So part of me sharing the message is me and my recovery here on YouTube. And you know, sometimes it's supported by people because they get some use out of it, mainly because I use the books of AA to help, Daily Reflections, and As Bill Sees It, and this other one, the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions of AA, 12 steps of work we have to put in as individuals to make ourselves open, honest and willing to make life work with a new action program and 12 steps of action to keep us safe. And this month it's step 4, all about a moral inventory, self-appraisal of our assets and liabilities, mainly about resentments in life. So it's a good thing for me to do this and to be reminded of what keeps me sober. And it's important that anybody out there who is in the addiction and in the problem gets help, medical support, professional support, or any support which seems to make life more livable, sober, because we need to be sober to find out how we can live. We've spent an awful lot of time being excluded, isolated, and being driven mad by our addiction. So it takes a while to get to a place of out of the problem into the solution, and those 12 steps. And I need the literature, and I need to keep going to AA, because if I don't, I run the risk of getting isolated, excluded, and not part of, rather than being part of, included in family, society, community, you name it. It's better to be in than out. And the daily reflections for today is April, so as I say, all about step 4 and the fearless moral inventory and what it means for us. But this particular reading says, on April the 7th, a wide arc of gratitude. And speaking for Dr. Bob and myself, and this is Bill Wilson, one of the co-founders, I gratefully declare that had it not been for our wives, Anne and Lois, neither of us would have lived to see AA's beginning. Am I capable of such generous tribute and gratitude to my wife, parents and friends, without whose support I might never have survived to reach AA's doors? I will work on this and try to see the plan my higher power is showing me, which links our lives together. And you know, it's the higher power of humanity for me, good, God, conscience, all those things, which has made me able to have a wide arc of gratitude. And you know, this wide arc of gratitude, I wouldn't be here without the help of my brother, my sister, my mother, my family, and people who knew me through the most awful times. And professional help, medical support. And you know, what keeps things going on a daily basis? After getting sober, then I had to try and put my life back together and find a meaning for it and a purpose. So I knew I had something going for me. So the only way I found is AA, and I'm not suggesting that anybody out there needs to join or be a member, but don't forget, it's just ordinary people who get to AA, good and bad, making progress and never perfect. So if you're looking for a perfect fix, an answer to your malady or your addiction, you ain't going to find it. The truth of it is, it's self-healing through sharing wisdom, sharing experience, strength and hope. Those are the ways forward, not some magical cure, and after 6 months you can go out and do it all over again. You could go do it all over again and find back in the insanity very quickly. So, you know, it's important to me that everybody gets the opportunity. In this book, as Bill sees it, which I refer to, it's got a bit on Pearl Harbor, so it's a bit outdated, so I'm going to page 72. Dependent, unhealthy or healthy. Nothing can be more demoralizing than a clinging and abject dependence upon another human being. This often amounts to the demand for a degree of protection and love that no one could possibly satisfy. So our hoped-for protectors finally flee, and once more we are left alone, either to grow up or to disintegrate. So, yes, if we lean heavily on some people, we pull them down, or they don't want to know us. We discovered that the best possible source of emotional stability to be God himself, or in my case, good conscience, truth, love, and God works through people. We found that dependence upon his perfect justice, forgiveness and love was healthy, and that it would work where nothing else would. If we really depended on God, we couldn't very well play God to our fellows, nor would we feel the urge to rely wholly on human protection and care. And, you know, it's really about a higher power. So what gives me human protection and care is the fellowship of AA, my family, community, and society. And, you know, there is help for all of us. There's my phone going. Just one moment. Video interrupted. It's probably a good thing. Anyway, I must leave it there. So what works for me may not work for you. But, you know, I like the fact that I've come from the problem into the solution just for today. And my spiritual, emotional and physical well-being is as good as it may be, given I have type 1 diabetes, clinical depression and all sorts of other complications along the way. So what helps me as well is saying the Serenity Prayer, which goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to learn the difference. Just simply for one day.